Welcome to tonight's edition of the Team Empire's Zoom weekly training Wednesday nights. So happy that you're here. First, I want to just say welcome to the training. And if you're a brand new person watching this live or watching it on the replay, welcome to the team. We're super excited to have you. We've had 30 brand new people join the team as team members this month. And I know there's a lot of team calls that go on. If you're on this one or on the replay, we want to say welcome. You are the lifeblood of our business. For us to be able to share these products with everybody is insanely amazing. That we even get to help people out. So with that, a little bit of housekeeping first. Monday nights right now at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we are doing a Pro 3 Powerhouse call. It's designed for people who want to get to Pro 3, and we have tweaked the slides for anybody who's been on. Thanks, Diane Jenkins. They're actually not new, but thank you so much. I'm wearing them tonight. That's the difference. Hey, Jamie. So the Pro 3 Powerhouses call is designed for anybody who wants to get to Pro 3. It's also, I'm going to mute everybody. There we go. It's also designed if you're a leader and you want to help your people get to Pro 3 and you want to hear what it's like to get to Pro 3 and help that duplicate out through your business. So we tweak the slides every single week so that it's not the same exact call that's going on. And we also have different speakers. So we're rotating speakers through the call Monday nights at 7 o'clock, Pro 3 Powerhouses call. I would highly suggest getting on if you have not yet been able to reach the rank of Pro 3. We also go into detail, and then at the end, the part that's not recorded, which is like the real goodies, is a question and answer session at the end of that. So there's always really great questions that are asked. We went over some scripts this week, talked about some closing tips this week. So that is definitely something that you'll want to hop on if that suits for what you're looking for. Also, the replay is always posted in the Empire Team Facebook page. Second thing, we have a training coming up on August 4th. From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's a power hour training, virtual again on Zoom, having you guys be able to sit in the comfort of your own home and get trained. And there's generally 4 speakers on that call. Each one of us take about 15 minutes and we hone in on topics that'll help you guys move your business forward. So make sure you have that on your calendar. And then obviously convention is coming up, obviously not for a couple months, but we're going to be talking about this heavily October 24th through the 27th in Salt Lake City. The tickets right now are so stinking cheap. $165 was one of the cheaper ones I could find on Southwest, leaving from Colorado, if you're on this call from Colorado. But super cheap tickets right now. Also, the entrance ticket at $179 is that price through July 29th. Only. After that, the price goes up. For those of you that bought a platinum pack and potentially did not make it to Anaheim, you do still have that ticket to use. So there's good news for you. So you'll still have that free ticket to get in at actually a much higher price point, so that rocks. Okay, I think that was my housekeeping of the night. This is actually my favorite day of the whole entire month, is the 25th of the month, because all of the subscription orders have run. So we know where our business is standing. We know what we need to do for the next 6 days to be able to close out the month. And so what I would tell you to do, and we're going to get a little bit detailed here tonight, so I hope you have a pen and paper and are able to take notes. Make sure that you go into, I love it, Diane, make sure you go into your own back office, whether it's just you or if you have a team, and make sure that all of your subscription orders shipped, okay? The ones at least that we're supposed to ship, make sure that they shipped out. That's number 1. Number 2, if you're leading a team, help those people that you're working with to be able to do that as well, at least be able to talk to them and tell them that they need to do that. That's something I always do on the 25th. Like literally this day is set aside for figuring out where we are today and where we can be in the next 6 days for a rank advancement. Remember, the Pacesetter program is in place for 90 days from your start date. So let's say your start date was April. Okay, let's just hypothetically say your start date was in April. Let's say April 15th. Your Pacesetter 90 days did not start until May 1st. Okay, same thing now right here with the new Pacesetter. Anybody who got started in July, my new phone is thinking I want to talk to Siri. And I got a new phone because my other phone was having troubles, and this one is giving me worse troubles. But if somebody got started in the month of July, or you got started in the month of July, your Pacesetter is now in place. Starting August 1st will begin your 90 days for getting the $100 for getting to Pro 2, $100 for holding Pro 2, $250 for getting to Pro 3, and $250 for holding Pro 3, an extra $700 that we're able to put in people's pockets, which makes them super duper happy. Okay, so now that we checked, now I don't even have a home phone that works, but hey, the phone's ringing. Okay, technology for me right now is like no bueno. Okay, next thing, making sure that you have $200 of personal volume. Personal volume is you and your customers. So making sure that you have that in place before the month closes out, not just for this month, but it really makes a difference of going into August because you want to be able to be paid out properly and paid out at the highest rate that LifeVantage pays. Going into August, you needed to have had that $200 of PV. At least, at the very bare minimum, $40 of that has to come from you. That's super bare minimum. The rest of it can come from your customers cumulatively. Again, if you have a team, make sure you're helping them out and you're looking for that as well. Next thing, matching bonus, and this is available. This bonus is amazing, and it's available for Pro 3s and above. That's just like a whole nother reason you want to get to Pro 3, other than the fact that it's our foundational rank inside of our company. But at Pro 3, you're available for a matching bonus. And I want to talk about this matching bonus here for a second. The matching bonus is you match anybody on your first level that you personally sponsored into the business at 10%. However many people that you brought into the business, every time their residual check sends, you get 10% of that, okay? And then the next 4 levels deep, which would be a total of 5 legs down or 5 levels down, you get paid 5%. I got to tell you, Tiana, Tim, Pro 8 on Monday nights, Pro 3 Powerhouses call that we did together, said that makes up like 1/3 of her check. That check pays my mortgage twice over, just that matching portion. And so I wanted to get clear with you guys tonight on why the matching bonus is awesome, why you want to be earning it, but that is available at Pro 3. So if you're above a Pro 3, you want to make sure that you have a new customer or customers or distributor that equal $100. So yes, it can be multiple people put together, but obviously when we're closing out the month again, I'm always making sure somebody has that $100 cumulatively through customers or distributors. Again, that is for people who are at Pro 3. We talked about Pacesetter. Okay, so that is really obviously closing out the month. I want you guys to look where you're at today. In your back office, go look at the numbers. Where am I at today, and what can I do to push for the next 6 days to hit the next rank? And let's be totally frank tonight. Hitting a new rank really is all about you. it changes the mood and the energy going into the next following month. I always have, if somebody rank advances, no matter what part of the month it is, they always have a different energy. They're talking to more people throughout that next month. They're just feeling a whole lot more uplifted than if they don't hit the rank. And I'm sure we all feel this way. If we're going for something and we don't hit it, it's like, oh, I'll just take the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth off of the next month. And those are the days that I feel like the people that push through that first, second, third, fourth, and fifth are the people who have stellar months. Some people wait all the way until the 15th to get rocking and rolling, but I'm telling you, if you're after a rank advancement, get with the person that you're working with, have them map it out for you. Generally, I'm finding, and what I obviously dissected the whole entire back office today because it's what I do on the 25th. But I got to tell you, there's tons of you guys who are super duper close to a rank advancement. Super duper close as in a couple of vitality stacks or one new platinum pack distributor or a gold pack distributor. And so here's what I would say. Everybody that you have talked to in this month, the month of July, and anybody prior to that who has not been able to make a decision for themselves and their family, I would go back to them. And we can make this really light and easy. One of the ways that I like to basically ask people if they're ready to get started, whether it be a customer or distributor, here's what I like to say. Do you see yourself, or do you want to, either one of these, do you see yourself taking the products for yourself, or do you see yourself taking the products for yourself and sharing them with others? Okay, really super duper light approach to going back to people, or there's also, here's another great way to go back to people who have not yet made a decision. Show them the brand new video that just came out at convention that's in your app. The cartoon one that just came out, okay? Maybe they'll digest that information differently than they digested the ABC Primetime video. Who knows if that's the first video that you showed. And so I always use some type or some piece of kind of like a homework. If they haven't made a choice, I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to check out this video. It's brand new to our company, and I think it explains it in complete layman's terms. And then they're like, oh yeah, cool, let me check it out. So there's a way to go back to people. I've given you a couple of different ways to go back to people. Maybe somebody has a cart that you've sent and they have not checked out of that cart yet. Another fun way to go to them is, hey, I was just thinking about you, and we have this new video that's totally killer. You got to see it. Or however you talk. Obviously, you don't have to talk just like the words that I'm saying. Just insert your own words, what sounds like you. I always like to say this video is going to blow your mind, because generally that moves people into action. But talk in your own verbiage, whatever works for you, for you to move their emotion. Okay, so we're not just talking about, like, hey, you got to watch this video. We got to move people to feel a certain way to want to watch the video, whether that's our excitement, or whether that's, maybe we're not always excited. Maybe we're kind of like lower even. That would not be me. I'm a little bit more like crazy, but a little bit, we're like a little bit more even, and you up that excitement even a tiny bit, people will take notice. They'll sit up a little bit taller, like, what is Shelly talking about tonight? What does Shelly want to share with me? And so I think using one of those things, use an article, use something that's in that app, use something that's in the Live Your Best Life Now customer group page. Use something like that so you don't feel like you're just going back to people and being like, hey, why didn't you check out of the cart? Or, hey, we haven't talked in a while. What are you thinking? You could also ask that. But there's a couple options to help you close out the month. Again, we're always going back to the people that we've talked to on top of the new people that we're sharing with right now. And so I want to do like a quick call to action that I'm hoping will help you reach out to some new people. Let's see. Hang on really fast. I wanted to see if I could see hands, but I can't. So I won't make you raise your hands. But so if you're using, the call to action is going to be reaching out between now and July 31st, reaching out to 10 new people. Okay. Now, if you are super, super part-time working this in the super, super nooks and crannies of your day, you can cut that in half. But if you're not, I would say reach out to 10 new people. Now, that might mean that you need to add some people to your database. That might mean that you need to scroll through your Facebook, not for scroll hole and getting caught, but to add new names to your list. And a great way to do this, you guys, if you go to your Facebook posts and you click and see who's liked and commented on your pictures, that is one of the easiest ways to add people to your database. And I also got to tell you, they are watching you, okay? So you might not feel like it. I never really, obviously, I don't think a lot of us go look at who liked our picture. Obviously, we see the comments, but sometimes if we go look and see who likes our pictures, we can really see who's seeing our page. And sometimes you're gonna go through 3 or 4 posts and you're gonna have a lot of those same people that liked your post, and that's so much easier of a reach out to do. So there's a good way to add names to the database for you. Also reaching out to those 10 new people, and by reach out, obviously getting them to the portion of the video and getting them to watch the video. I'm hoping everybody's awesome with that. I love calls to action, especially because you guys know I love the end of the month. I love helping people get outside their comfort zone and do some things that they probably wouldn't have done if the call to action was not in place. So next thing I want to talk about is when we're talking to people, and this could go for always, but I'm still going to keep it with closing out the month. When you're talking to people who have not yet been able to make a decision, get them on the phone or in a Facebook 3-way chat message with somebody else. Okay, it doesn't even have to just be your upline. It can be anybody that's willing to help, because sometimes if somebody can hear from somebody else why this has worked or how this has worked for them, or why this is such a great business opportunity to build a long-lasting residual income, sometimes it helps to not hear it from our voice. Sometimes it helps to hear it from somebody else. And I know when I was very brand new, obviously I was vomiting all over everybody, every single piece of information. And some people loved it, like, oh my gosh, yes, you're excited. I'm excited. Let's do this. But sometimes, it was like, okay. And I would literally just use the person who was available. So I would text a couple of people at the same time and say, hey, is anybody available for a 3-way call? Because that's all we did at that time. Now we're doing 3-way Facebook inbox messages. But either way, add another voice to the mix. And I got to tell you guys, when you're asking somebody else to do this, our job is not to close them. Our job is to help them make an educated decision if this is for them or not. And so you won't catch any of us getting on the phone being like, you got to do this. Are you ready? Pull out your credit card. Let's get on the computer. You're not going to find that. But what you are going to find is that you're going to learn in the process by listening to what we say to people. And really, that's the only way to get better. It's kind of like on-the-job training. And so if you feel like you're doing this business all by yourself, I would invite you to reach out and ask for help. Ask for somebody to help with a 3-way call. And it can be, again, it can be anybody. It can be people who have just maybe been in the business a little bit longer. It can be somebody who's in the same industry as that person. Whatever that case is, ask for that help. And remember, even with these new reach outs, and I say 10 new reach outs in the next 6 days. Now, I'm not saying 10 new reach outs and hurry up and get them as a distributor, but as we're building these relationships and conversations, you're going to find that even if we're kind of setting up August. Maybe you're going to find a person or two who pops and goes, oh my gosh, yes, I want these products in my body yesterday. maybe you're going to find that person that's like, oh my gosh, I've been looking all over for this and I needed a business opportunity and I'm ready to get started. But also maybe you're going to start that conversation that person's going to pop early in the month of August and also set your August up great. So I love doing this because we end up acquiring customers. We end up acquiring distributors, whether it's for these next 6 days or not. We're really setting our next month up super powerfully. I want you guys to think about for just a second. If you're talking to, let's say, that you're currently in talks with, let's just hypothetically say 10 people, okay? And there's 10 people right now that you've shared the video with. There's 10 people right now that either have not yet decided if they want to order product or not yet decided if they want to do business. What do you think your emotional attachment is to that if you know that you have 9 other people and one says no? Okay, your emotional attachment is obviously pretty low, okay? A lot lower than if you were talking to one person at that same time. I think a lot of times we talk to one person and if there's a little bit of interest, we get completely caught up like, oh my gosh, Gina's going to do this. I just want Gina to do this and Gina needs this. And Gina says, you know, she's just got to talk to her neighbors and, you know, whatever it happens to be. But if we have 9 other people that we're talking to, and this could work with even 5 other people that we're talking to, our emotional attachment to it goes down and our confidence really goes up because we're not like, oh my gosh, my whole world is counting on Gina, or my whole world's going to drop and break because Gina said no and it's not for her. It's a whole lot harder to pick that phone back up after, you know, you're talking to one person and one person says no, but it's so much easier when you have other people in the works. So really my point is, don't just reach out to one person at one time, but reach out to multiple people as we're doing this. You know, even if that accumulates of 2 today and 2 tomorrow and 2 the next day, that's how I'm getting to the number of 10. I'm not saying go do 10 in one day unless that's your jam. But that's how cumulatively and consistently, that's how we're keeping the funnel going of people that we can obviously go back to that haven't made a decision yet. So with that, I want to open it up for any questions that anybody has. If you want to actually, let me see, allow participants. Okay, you can actually unmute yourself if you have a question, or if you feel better, you can put it in the chat box. I said earlier, generally I like to open it up for questions about once a month because generally people have questions. Sometimes they're too scared to ask. Ireland points started July 1st. Yes, that is correct. Are you telling me to say that, or you want information about that, Hagen? I guess I shouldn't say Hagen. I should say all of Northern Colorado. I love that you guys are all in one house. Woo woo! I love it. What snacks are we having over there?
Oh, you name it, we have it.
Oh, you name it, you have it. Okay, awesome. Okay, did you have a question or did you just want me to mention Ireland?
No, I just wanted to mention it because, you know, as people are coming up for rank advance, so if they're going from Pro 1 to Pro 2, they're getting 10 points this month.
Thank you, thank you. Keep going, Hagen. Keep going. You have that right in front of you.
Pro 2 this month, and they're getting 5 points. And their sponsor is getting half of those points. So it's a great circle.
Yes, yes, and yes. And I thought last week when Skip did the call with Kelly from corporate, I thought that they were going to go over a little bit more. I will tell you, if you go into the Empire Facebook page, there is a video in there that Pro 9 Sean and Michelle Poe did, and they break down the points. And I figured, like, why do double the work? We can use that one. And we're also going to completely start talking Ireland a ton, especially because there's 10 months to earn it. And lots of points available for doing what we would already currently be doing in the first place. So that's super exciting. Diane Jenkins says, so cool with a room full of people. Way to go, Northern Colorado up there. They have that. I love that. Okay, any other questions? And nothing is off limits. Nothing is stupid. Nothing at all. You'd probably pass out if you knew the questions that I used to ask, because I thought I needed to know like everything. Okay, so if you're typing in or unmuting yourself, let's just talk Ireland for another second. Those points did start July 1st. They end on April 30th. Points are in place for rank advancements like Hagen was talking about. And then when you hold that rank advancement for the next month, you also get half of those points. You also get points for anybody on your team rank advancing and them holding the points. Actually, not anybody on your team, anybody that you personally sponsored. So I hope that makes sense. That's really great information, obviously, as we're closing out the month of July and moving into the month of August. And I got to tell you, we had a rockin' summer. A lot of people think that summer months are slower. And I got to tell you, last month, and I don't know if I said this on another call, last month we ended as a team, as the Empire team from right where I can see all the way down, we ended $20,000 up over May. And we haven't had a $20,000 gain in a while. We're growing every single month, but the $20,000 literally, you guys, crushed it, especially because the baseline number that we're working with is so large. So that $20,000 was incredible. Thank you to everybody who's chipping in and understanding your worth for yourself. If you're wondering what rank you were at or where you're at for the baseline points for Ireland, it's wherever you ended for the month of June. Okay, whatever you got paid as in the month of June is your baseline. That's where you can start your points for Ireland. Okay, thanks for popping that information in the chat. And anybody else with a question? Anybody else want to type in the chat? Anybody? No problem if you don't. I always just like to at least make it available. Okay, so with that, 6 more days to close out this month of July. We're setting up our August really, really, really super strong. So I'm excited to watch everything that's happening. Make sure that you're keeping track of the people that you're putting in the customer group or the distributor group so that you're not forgetting to tag them as new posts come into the group. If you have any questions, obviously reach out either to myself or whoever you're working with. And yes,
I do have a question. I don't know if other people are having a problem like you and I are having with trying to put people in the group, because I tried to add Sheila and it wouldn't let me add her either. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong when I try and add her, or do we know what's going on with that?
You're not. It's a Facebook glitch. I actually looked it up. After I asked you guys, can you please welcome your people in the pinned post? Then I actually looked it up and I looked in a couple of the other groups, and it's a Facebook glitch, and they happen so often. And of course it just happens to be the time when I'm trying to welcome people into the group. So give it a little while and then try to welcome her again.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, thank you so much for asking that. And that does glitch up sometimes. And sometimes, us admins just ask one of the other admins like, hey, can you help with this? So, okay, with that, again, have a fantastic rest of your week. Again, let's push hard collectively as a team. Let's totally, absolutely crush the rest of this month. It always feels so accomplishing, like really pushing hard through the end of the month. So with that, everybody have a fantastic night. It was fun seeing all your faces, and I will talk to you guys soon.